Check this out, everyone. The Cannon Alpha PHEV. I know there's a lot of confusion and a lot of discussion about the PHEV and the styling recently, but I can confirm the Cannon Alpha PHEV is going to have the blackout trims. So the blackout grills, blackout logo. This is black on black cars, but it will remain silver on the other colors. You will get the black alloy wheels, the black side steps. They are still plastic, but they are black. Roof rails are black. Mirror cap, door handle. And on the back of the vehicle, the logo will also be black. Other than that, the exterior of the Cannon Alpha PHEV is going to look very similar. Now, a lot of people have been discussing about the location of the spare wheel. It is currently there, but GWM is working on a solution to have it mounted standing up inside the tray. So rest assured, that's not the final position of the spare wheel. So let's have a quick look around. Starting from the back, you still have the split tailgate, just like the normal Alpha. So it opens 60/40, or with a longer hold, it'll open conventionally. Single hand, nice and easy. At the back, there are 6 reversing sensors as well. Although the corner ones there are more for just the auto parking, which is pretty cool. If you guys have never tried the auto park function in the Cannon Alpha, if you own a Ultra Hybrid, that car will have the auto park function. So will the PHEV. Here's obviously a key difference in the back setup. There are no leaf springs in the rear here. Coil sprung rear end. You still have a live axle underneath. And I've driven this car, and I can confirm this is a lot more comfortable compared to the hybrid and the diesel because of the coil rear end versus the leaf springs. But then again, I've never tried putting a load in the back yet, but I'd imagine the one with the leaf springs are gonna handle load quite a bit better. This is also where one of the battery packs are. There's actually one here and then one more further up above. So there are 2 battery packs in the Alpha PHEV, giving you a total of 37.1 kilowatt hour. While we're on the topic of this, in some overseas model you guys might have seen there's a plug there, but in the Australian spec one currently, there is nothing there. Now, there will be a discharge board where you can discharge out of here. I've seen people commenting, oh, the competitor can do 6.6, the Alpha can only do 3.3. And, you know, I don't know what you're trying to run, but 3.3 is enough to run an induction cooker plus another item or two, another electrical item or two. So why you would need 6.6 kilowatt output. And on top of that, keep in mind this has the 37 kilowatt hour battery. The Shark has just below 30. So if you do run 6.6, like, are you just gonna run out soon? The car literally just arrived back, which is why it's in a very, very dirty state. It just came back from the National 4x4 show up in Brisbane. Originally there were other plans for the car, but now it's back. Let's have a quick look inside. Just like the Hybrid Ultra, you have the 8-way adjustable seats with a 4-way lumbar support adjustment as well. Massaging seats up front. That's also a very cool feature. The passenger seat adjuster can be done from the driver's side as well. Jumping inside, there is really no difference on the interior of the PHEV versus the standard hybrid. Or let me quickly run through the key differences. So this is only meant to be a very quick and short video. Here's the an additional switch for going into EV and as well as hybrid mode. On the other side, you still have your standard stuff, your front and rear diff lock and 4L. Once again, this is the key difference between the Cannon Alpha PHEV and the BYD Shark. Alright, so let's have a look at some of the differences. You can see straight away here, 66% of charge. And we can see their total range currently is 526, which is a combination of 454 and 72 kilometers on the battery as well. So to get into that page earlier, you can either click there or just in here and power. In here, this is where you can do all your settings. This is the charging cable. For when it's plugged in really cold climate, you can keep the battery warm, or vice versa. In a hot place, you can have it cooled. In Australia, maybe in some snowy area, you might use that, but yeah, I would say majority of Australia doesn't really need that. Active temperature regulation. Once again, this is for like extreme hot or extreme cold climate. So you might want to do that if you live somewhere North Queensland or in the Northern Territory. And then discharge, V2L. So after you've got your discharge board plugged in, you just click that and then it'll be able to discharge. This here is also pretty cool. So at the moment it's at 66%. And the vehicle will start to hold charge at around 14%, thereabouts. And if you're still drawing current from V2L, you can have this on, so then the engine will fire up and act as a generator to continue to provide you the power you need. And this here is also the drive mode. So you have EV, HEV, as well as intelligent. Let's start with intelligent. So when you're in an intelligent hybrid mode, it's going to do things like as soon as you hit around 70 kilometers per hour, engine is going to kick in automatically. Now in this outdoor camping mode, it will also hold charge at around the 50% mark. So you can see right now we've got over 60%, so it wouldn't hold charge. So it'll let the electricity deplete to about 50% before starting to hold charge. Or you can customize it from anything between 30% to 80%. So imagine a use case. You're going away camping in a weekend, and you know you will be using your induction cooker, and you know you will be boiling your kettle. So you can set this at 80%, and as you drive to your destination, the vehicle will hold charge at 80%, which means you will still have 80% of your battery to draw from when you get there at your campsite. I don't know about you, but yeah, I think this is a fantastic user case and a very usable feature, in my opinion, in a plug-in hybrid. In the HEV mode, it basically just does everything automatically. Most of the time, it will stay in EV mode. It's going to depend on a whole heap of things: your accelerator pedal position, your battery charge level, and your current vehicle speed, etc., etc., to choose between using electric only or hybrid. Then finally, EV mode. Now, from what I have experienced, EV mode, it will remain in electric only until the battery drops to about 14%. When it drops to 14%, that is when it will start holding charge. So what that means is the engine will start to kick in, and you basically work the same way as the petrol hybrid. It will hold charge at 14%. Another thing I've noticed in EV mode, the only time the engine would kick in while you're in EV mode is if you apply 100% accelerator. That's the only time I've experienced the engine kicking in EV mode. And another cool thing about this is even when you're in EV mode, you still have torque on demand 4x4, which means when you're doing some basic off-roading, you can remain in EV mode. However, from what I've noticed, as soon as you switch it into any of these four-wheel drive, especially 4-low, the engine will kick in. So let's have a look at the different modes. When you switch into Eco, it remains in EV mode. When you switch it into 4 high, immediately it changes to the hybrid mode. And when you switch it to sport mode as well, it will immediately switch to the hybrid vehicle mode as well. So yeah, hopefully this gives you guys an idea of the difference between the Cannon Alpha plug-in versus the normal petrol hybrid. As I said, some of the differences are really not noticeable, but there are definitely a lot that are visibly different. I know there are some confusion out there, but I can confirm the Cannon Alpha PHEV will come with the black pack. Will come with the blacked out grille, the black wheels, the black side steps, black mirror caps, door handles, roof rails, and also the front and rear logo as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you give me a thumbs up and give it a share. And also let me know in the comments if you want to see some 4x4 action in the Cannon Alpha PHEV.